Title: When you learn to walk alone, you stop needing permission. Part 1: The Hexagon, the isolation of growth. Power isn't born from crowds. It's built in silence. When no one's watching, no one's clapping, no one's reassuring you that you're doing the right thing. That silence you keep trying to escape? That's the gym where your mind gets strong. Growth is lonely by design. You can't evolve surrounded by the same noise that kept you comfortable. When the old version of you starts to die, it doesn't do it quietly, it screams for attention. So do the people who benefited from your weakness. You start losing invitations. You start being misunderstood. People say you've changed. They're right. You're supposed to. Every level of maturity demands distance from something. Old habits, old friends, old validation loops. The hexagon represents discipline, and discipline isn't just what you do, it's what you no longer allow. You start noticing that energy spent explaining yourself is energy stolen from execution. The strong eventually stop explaining. They let time speak for them. When you learn to walk alone, you learn clarity. You can hear your own thoughts again without the echo of everyone else's fears. You start realizing how much of your identity was built from what others told you was right. The quiet is where you find out who you actually are. There's a rule in power most never learn. If you need a witness to validate your purpose, you'll lose it the moment they look away. You don't need a crowd to move, you need conviction to stay moving when it's quiet. The hexagon teaches that isolation isn't punishment, it's precision. Every person who built something that lasted spent seasons unseen. You can't demand impact and fear invisibility. They come as a pair. When you're alone, pay attention. Your patterns are louder. Your excuses are clearer. Your habits show their true shape. That's why solitude scares people. It shows them everything they've been hiding under noise. Stop treating silence like an enemy. It's the mirror that forces truth to stand up. And truth, when you face it, doesn't need an audience, it needs action. Growth will cost you comfort. Isolation will cost you ego. But the exchange is freedom. Freedom from the need for approval, from the addiction to being seen. That's how power begins, not in validation, but in self-command. So walk alone if you must. Walk quiet if you can. You'll lose some voices, but you'll gain one that matters, your own. That's the hexagon, strength through stillness, order through solitude. Because when you learn to walk alone, you stop needing permission to move. Part 2: The triangle, fire without audience. You don't need eyes on you to burn bright. Fire doesn't ask for permission to exist, it just burns. That's the triangle. Power that proves itself through movement, not attention. The modern world has everyone performing progress, posting effort, announcing change, begging for validation disguised as motivation. But every second you spend proving your grind, you interrupt it. Real fire doesn't broadcast, it builds. You can't feed your focus and your ego at the same time. One always starves the other. If you want real power, feed the work that no one sees. That's the fire that lasts when applause fades. In silence, every move counts. There's no instant feedback, no guaranteed results, no one cheering. Just repetition. And repetition without reward feels like madness, until it becomes mastery. That's how the triangle works, effort that outlasts emotion. You'll feel invisible when you're doing it right. That's the part they never tell you. Greatness looks boring up close. It's the same habits on loop, refining, tightening, cutting, repeating. People won't understand it because they've been trained to chase stimulation, not progress. The triangle teaches motion through friction. You learn to love the resistance because it shapes precision. Every moment of frustration is a rep for patience. Every no strengthens your direction. Every setback burns away a weakness you didn't know you had. You can't fake endurance. You can post consistency, but you can't post conviction. Conviction is what keeps the flame alive when nothing seems to be working. It's what separates those who finish from those who just start loud. Stop waiting for someone to tell you you're doing well. They don't see enough of the picture to judge it anyway. You're not behind, you're just underground. And that's where roots grow. Every seed spends time buried before it ever breaks the surface. Keep your energy internal. Let your results be the noise. The loudest ones are rarely the longest lasting. The quiet ones keep building while the rest are distracted by applause. Fire without audience burns cleaner. No performance, no pretense, just progress. Every step you take alone, every hour you work unseen, adds weight to your presence. That's the kind of fire that builds influence. But remember, influence isn't domination. It's direction. You don't control people, you inspire movement. You don't shout orders, you lead by rhythm. The more control you have over your fire, the more control you have over a room without saying a word. The triangle reminds you, every great leader once walked invisible. Every empire began in obscurity. Every legend had years of being ignored before being remembered. So don't rush visibility, earn depth. Because when the spotlight finally finds you, it should reveal mastery, not an act. Let the fire work quietly. You don't need witnesses to prove you're burning. You just need purpose to keep the flame alive. That's the triangle. Motion through friction, power through patience, fire without audience. Part 3. The circle. Presence that speaks without sound. You've built form through solitude. You've built fire through silence. Now comes presence, the quiet gravity that follows those who no longer chase. The circle teaches that real power doesn't announce itself, it's felt. When you've done enough work internally, you don't have to prove anything externally. People sense when you move with intention. They feel the difference between noise and weight. Presence doesn't shout, it shapes the room. It's in the way you listen, the way you breathe when others panic, the way you hold your ground without needing to explain why. You don't argue for respect anymore, your consistency already earned it. But this calm isn't accidental. It's the result of every lonely night, every quiet repetition, every fire you carried when no one cared. That struggle was the tuition. This piece is the degree. The circle represents flow, and flow means alignment, structure, drive, and stillness working as one. It's not that life gets easier, it's that you stop fighting it. You start recognizing patterns. You stop mistaking chaos for opportunity and stillness for failure. You move only when it matters, and you stop apologizing for that restraint. Power that's refined becomes peace. And peace that's protected becomes influence. You don't have to force it anymore. The world adjusts to your rhythm when your rhythm becomes consistent. Understand this, your presence carries history. Every hard decision, every lonely moment, every risk no one saw, it's all in your tone, in your walk, in your silence. People will feel it before you speak. That's not ego, that's energy. So stop running from your weight. You've earned it. Don't shrink to fit back into rooms you outgrew. Don't apologize for how still you've become. Stillness is power disguised as patience. Silence is strategy dressed as humility. You've learned to walk alone, now you walk with purpose. You've learned to burn quietly, now you radiate calm strength. That's presence that speaks without sound. The circle closes with the truth most avoid. Influence isn't about being seen, it's about being felt. When your energy is clean, your results echo without noise. That's legacy. That's impact. You've reached the point where you don't need to prove power, you just need to protect it. Walk steady. Move with weight. And let your presence do the talking. If this message resonated, leave a like, share it with someone building in silence, and subscribe. We're creating a community for those walking their own path. And if you want to go deeper, the private discussions, long-form lessons, and raw breakdowns, you can now join us on Patreon. That's where we go beyond the words into the practice. We remain